You want the truth of this place. It isn't glory or honor, it's exposure. A soldier's mind, a soldier's body, slowly destroyed by nature, by waiting, by the sheer futility of this war. Owen wrote what we lived. A man who stood where I stand, frontline, France, writing letters home, recording our psychological trauma, our physical suffering, our pity of war. Even the poem's structure fools you. 8 stanzas of apparent order, 4 long lines, 1 short, a rigid pattern. But when you read it, the rhythm breaks, stumbles, fractures. A deliberate, disjointed meter to mirror how war strips clarity, how nothing feels stable anymore. Our brains ache in the merciless iced east winds that knife us. This is where my story begins, in medias res. No build-up, no preparation. You're thrown straight into the suffering because that's how war arrives, abruptly. Owen uses present tense here, so the pain feels continuous, as if the agony is happening as you read my words. And notice the pronoun, our. A collective pronoun, reminding you that this isn't one soldier's anguish, it's all of us. A shared, crushing collective exhaustion. Brains ache. A simple phrase but layered with 3 levels of torment. Emotional anguish, physical injury, and psychological trauma, what they now call shell shock. One verb carrying a semantic field of suffering. Then the enemy changes. The iced east winds become a force with intention. Owen uses personification. The wind knives us. Nature isn't passive. Nature is weaponized, more violent, more relentless than the soldiers in the opposite trench. Listen to the sound of the line. The harsh sibilance, SSS, mimics the slicing hiss of the wind, and the stretched vowels, the assonance of ice and ache, drag the line out, slowing it down, forcing you to feel how long this torment lasts. Even the ellipsis at the end extends the suffering, mirroring the endless waiting, the never-ending cold, the truth that nothing happens, except more pain. The line is long, deliberately long. Owen's extended line length mirrors the long hours of exposure, the stretched-out torment that feels like it will never end. This is no battlefield heroism. This is slow, gnawing decay, the real enemy Owen wanted you to see. What are we doing here? The poignant misery of dawn begins to grow. We only know war lasts, rain soaks and clouds sag stormy. Then comes the question, not shouted, but whispered, broken. What are we doing here? A rhetorical question that has no answer, because in this war, there is no reason, no logic, just futility. Owen places these anticlimactic questions throughout the poem, to create a pattern of incompleteness, reinforcing our sense of confusion, of purposelessness. And after each question, that refrain, that bleak, cyclical return. But nothing happens. A technique of repetition that builds the theme of stagnation, war as an endless loop with no progress, no hope. Then dawn arrives, but not like a sunrise should, not hopeful, not warm. Through personification, dawn becomes hostile, heavy with poignant misery. Even the morning resents us. Even time is tired of watching us die. This is nature again as the aggressor, a recurring idea, a sort of divine judgment, as if humanity's violence has invited nature's cold revenge. Then the triplet. War lasts, rain soaks, clouds sag stormy. A powerful tricolon, 3 blows of monotony, 3 images of inevitability, 3 reminders that hope dissolves in repetition. The adverb only matters. It tells you we've forgotten life before the trenches. Our identities erased, our memories overwritten by a new reality. War is the only thing we know now. The line's soundscape, again thick with sibilance, creates a soft, sinister whisper, echoing the lethal quiet of the battlefield. It all builds the same truth. We sit, we freeze, we question, we hope for change. And still, nothing happens. All their eyes are ice. This is the moment when death stops being abstract. Eyes, the window to a person's soul, are frozen. Literally? Maybe. But metaphorically? Absolutely. This line works as a metaphor for emotional numbness, for psychological paralysis, for the freezing of humanity in conditions too brutal for living men. Who are their eyes? Owen lets the pronoun ambiguity speak volumes. They might be the dead soldiers, their eyes literally iced over. They might be the burial party, so traumatized that they cannot feel emotion anymore. They might be all soldiers, our tears frozen, our expressions blank, our spirits iced by futility. Or perhaps the most painful interpretation, their contrasts with earlier we and us. The unity has been broken. Some of us have died. Some of us remain to watch. The separation is brutal and inevitable. This line is also Owen's sharpest use of irony. Not killed by bullets, not by enemies, but by weather. Nature, again, is the deadliest force in the poem. And then the final cruel twist, the return once again to the poem's cyclical structure. This death changes nothing. The war continues, the suffering continues, the waiting continues. And so the poem ends where it began. Nothing happens. Owen's message is unmistakable. War is not glorious. War is futile. War freezes men long before it kills them. If you want your grade 9, you have to know how poems speak to each other. Go watch the poetry comparison videos on this channel and learn how this suffering connects to remains, bayonet charge, and every soldier who carried trauma home.